I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Present.
Freeholder Estrada, Freeholder Hudak, Freeholder Jallo,
Here.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Present.
Freeholder Wright,
Present.
Vice Chairman Granados,
Here.
and Chairman Bergen.
Present.
Chairman, you have 7 freeholders present.
Thank you. Clerk of the Board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the Board, please read the Statement of Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2017 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve communications?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
Freeholder Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados,
Aye.
and Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Tonight we have an ordinance for introduction. Clerk of the Board, would you please read the ordinance by title?
Ordinance
I'm
number
sorry. Mr. Clerk, before you do, just let the record reflect that Freeholder Estrada is here.
Thank you. Thank you. Ordinance number 788-2017, an ordinance fixing the salary of the Director of the Department of Human Services.
Thank you. I'm going to call on Fiscal Subcommittee Chairman Freeholder Mirabella to please move the ordinance for introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move ordinance number 788-2017 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be held on October 26, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
Freeholder Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados,
Aye.
Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. We now move to that portion of the meeting concerning ordinances that are being considered by the board for adoption. Meeting is now open to the public for commenting on the pending resolutions only. Please step forward, give us your name, town of residence. For the record, let us know which resolution you're referring to, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit. Any members of the public wishing to address pending resolutions?
Good evening, Chair Bergen, ladies and gentlemen. Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Actually minimal, so I mean, maybe this meeting will actually be a quick one. So, just a couple of comments. On the bottom of the first page, 2017-825, it's a professional engineering service at T&M Associates, not to exceed $112,000. It's an increase, $112,000 for a total of $295,000 for groundwater remediation, additional engineering services. I don't know. I guess the question is really, what does this actually entail? And my normal comment is T&M has given you $94,000 in 4 years to the freeholders' campaigns and their cronies. On page 2, number 27, professional on-call environmental engineering service to CME. Again, additional services, environmental, I don't know why T&M isn't doing it, but anyway, so it's an amount to exceed not to exceed $20,000 more for a total amount of $40,000. This is another corporation that has given the freeholders and the cronies $106,000 in political donations in 4 years. I think pay-to-play should be put in place somehow to avoid these quid pro quo situations. Page 4, on the top, number 840. I appreciate everybody's not being proactive to my questions about internal position controls. You explained it last week, so I mean, thank you very much on that one. Trying to make the meeting short, I guess. And the last question, on page 5, number 848, it looks like authorizing the establishment of the Union County Insurance Fund Commission. I guess, you know, just for what purpose is this being established, and who's going to be sitting on it, how many is the board? Just a quick overview of what this is. So, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. On the last one, 848, County Council, can you just briefly address that?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Actually, there has been an insurance trust fund for a number of years. The purpose of this is, number one, to change the name to the Union County Insurance Fund Commission. Secondly, there are commissioners who have been appointed previously and would continue to serve. Those 3 commissioners have served for a period of 2 years, or during the term of their positions, they are required to be county officials. And it basically is, the purpose of that commission is to address claims against the county within our $250,000 retainage for most of the coverage we have. We are also expanding the services under the commission to include workers' comp claims, which previously were handled separately from the trust fund.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Director Graziano, on number 825, if you could just explain what the work covered by that resolution.
Sure. Through you, Mr. Chairman. This is ongoing remediation and monitoring, groundwater remediation and monitoring that's going to be going on, including air sampling, and there's a bunch of other stuff that's going to be going on. And this is done through the LSRP, who has to stick with the site forever until the case is done. They're hoping to have the case finished by May 7th of 2019. They have to continue monitoring that site. There was hazardous material underground from years ago. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other member of the public wishing to address any pending resolutions?
John Berry, Kenilworth, and there's 2 things here. First, on this 844, that's page 4. MedCom provides a retiree to provide retiree benefit billing services and COBRA administration, appointing them. Who's been doing that now, or is it just re-up? And it says $36,000 on the recommendation of our contracted insurance broker. Who is that contracted insurance broker who did the recommending here? And basically, is this a new thing, or is this something that's been done in-house before and now it's being farmed out? And the other thing is, just for more detail on this 848 Insurance Fund Commission. I didn't follow what they were doing. Is this for lawsuits against the county? 3 commissioners, do they meet anywhere? Do they have regularly scheduled meetings, and are they supposed to recommend stuff? I mean, what exactly is their role in this? And who are the 3 commissioners, if you know?
Okay, County Council on 848.
Currently, the 3 commissioners are Director Taylor, Director and Deputy County Manager Amy Wagner, and Director of Personnel Claudia Martins. The purpose of it is to address any and all claims that come in under our general liability, employer-employee relationships, all those that are permitted by statute. And as I said, one major expansion, in addition to changing the role and expansion of the commission, will now be that the commission will oversee the claims relative to workers' comp. They will approve claims and settlements when necessary, and they basically serve as the insurance provider or for matters that are within our retainage. In most cases, that is a $250,000 retainage before the cell GIF kicks in.
Thank you.
You all.
Director Yuska, on 844, could you just advise whether this is a new service or whether it's a continuation, and who is our contracted insurance broker?
It is a continuation, and our broker is BGIA/Acrisure.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who wish to address any pending resolutions? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting and ask for a motion to approve, adopt resolutions 2017-825 through 2017-866.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Kowalski, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
I abstain on Resolution 2017-838, and yes on the remaining resolutions.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative with the exception of resolution number 2017-838, where you have 7 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention.
Thank you. We now come to that portion of the meeting where we open to the public for a purpose of commenting on any governmental issue that the member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Once again, please state your name, town of residence, and adhere to the 5-minute time limit. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board about any public issue?
Yes, good evening, members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. James M. Bennett, 38 Fairview Avenue, Summit. I'm appearing before you because I just received my tax bill, and here's an enlarged copy. Conventionally, the ratio of school district, county, and municipal taxes has been half school, a quarter municipality, and a quarter county. This latest bill continues to show the school district as half, but Summit's portion is now about 20%, and the county portion is nearly 30%. Expressed differently, the county portion is nearly half again that of Summit. These proportions tell me that the Summit Board of School Estimate and the Summit Common Council have done their jobs. This Board of Chosen Freeholders has not. And I will leave this here. The result is that Union County is not merely expensive, which one can understand. Union County is unaffordable, which surpasses understanding. Do not think that because I have a Summit address that I am wealthy. I most certainly am not. Property taxes are my single largest expense and a genuine burden. I'm sure there will be justification for every line item of expenditure in the county budget. And I'm certain that many of you at times have worked to contain some of the costs. However, as a taxpayer, I have run out of patience. The liability of the county to achieve parity with the municipal tax burden is a failure of fiscal leadership. It's a scandal, it's a disgrace. However, I'm not here merely to vent. I'm here to propose a way back to regular order. Last time I was before you, I presented a suggestion of direct metering of property tax bills to tenants. This time, I advocate a penny plan at the county level. For the fiscal year 2018 to 2019, the goal is not merely to contain an increase, the goal is to reduce, in real dollars, the county budget by 1%. To reach this goal, each county agency must submit a budget that is 2% lower than actuals for the previous fiscal year. 2% provides a cushion to permit the overall budget to decline by 1%. Failure to submit such a budget by March of 2018 would result in an automatic cut to that agency's budget of 3%. There can be carbon-style credits. An agency that is unable to cut its budget, say, because of state mandates, can trade with another agency that is able to cut its budget by greater than 2%. The 1% overall reduction applies equally to debt and unfunded liability. Union County burnishes its credit rating, but the ability to borrow does not compel its exercise. Interest rates today are artificially low and will not continue. Long-term debt amortization must be the goal. Any unfunded liability outside debt must be amortized as well. An unfunded promise is government perfidy at its worst. Real property cannot move out of Union County, but taxpayers can. And when property values are inversely proportional to taxes, taxpayers do move, and the downward spiral starts. The penny plan will require political courage and will, and I call on the Board of Chosen Freeholders to demonstrate those attributes and embrace the penny plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to address any issue to the board?
Good evening, Chair Bergen, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson Garwood. Oddly enough, I wasn't actually going to say anything. I was just going to sit there and let it go.
Really?
Oddly enough. But anyway, he brings up the tax bills and the county taxes, and it kind of like this year, and I don't think I mentioned it to you guys, and I'm sure you're not aware of it because you're not in the formulation of the tax bills. That's a separate entity. But Garwood, this year the Board of Ed was a $65 increase. The municipal end of it was a $65 increase, and the county end of it was $132. In other words, it was actually, if you add up the borough and the Board of Ed, it was actually more than both of those put together. $132 versus $130 total for the direct operating cost. I'm beside myself. I never really did mention it. I'm mentioning it now because Mr. Bennett brought up some ideas. I mean, you know, I'll tell you, this guy is definitely thinking out of the box, pretty far out of the box on some of his ideas. But I mean, it's interesting that people are coming here and talking about, you know, taxes. Summit, like I said, Summit is coming down here and crying about taxes. Roselle is crying about taxes. You have basically wealth levels of a higher end and the lower end. Everybody's crying about county taxes. What can you do about it? At least Mr. Bennett is bringing up some ideas. I've been coming here for, I don't know, 15 years, I guess, just to pick a number, but I really don't hear anything dynamic. And in fact, the last couple of years has actually been horrendous because, yes, you guys are increasing your surplus, and it's really dramatically increasing, and that's what you're raising taxes on. It's just you got an increase of county taxes of $8 million, and your surplus basically increases $8 million. So you're not really doing anybody any favors except yourself. I brought up an idea before about the assessment. You know, the towns are facing revaluations, and that possibly, you know, you could use some of that surplus, which you have about $42 million, and the running balance is like $61 million at the end of the year, to offset that cost. Mr. Bergen came and said, Freeholder Chair, said that it is a conflict of interest. I queried by Oprah, Council Barry, as to how was the opinion formulated, on what basis. precedents as to what the conflict of interest is. And Barry said that it was a client privilege. It was it client attorney privilege. So one guy can say anything he wants, and of course the county attorney, who is being paid by the freeholders through their budget, is just going to back them up. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But the other choice, I said, well, okay, well, don't do it by assessment. Just give a per household tax refund for all the towns, and that'd be great. That'd be Republicans, the Democrats, just $50, $50 per household to each town, per house that they have in the town. So anyway, people are coming up and making suggestions. I really don't hear anybody even saying that's a good idea, or to Mr. Bennett's idea. I remember him talking about it the first time. So, I mean, that's my suggestion, talking about taxes. Just another thing, I guess. I would assume that you're aware that the COA situation, the affordable housing plans that the towns are putting in place, I know the county doesn't have to adhere to that. It's the towns themselves. And it's creating super high density projects that are now coming in. Cranford, there's a 900 unit project. They're going to increase their township by 13% or something like that in population. In Garwood, we have a 300 unit project, increasing our population by about 15%. But I mean, it's these COA units as an obligation, and the 85% marketable units that come with the 15% COA obligations come down from the state. It comes from the state, it's not the county. But I mean, I think it's time for you to stand up and back up your towns, because everybody's really hurting. High density, high traffic, very high traffic on your infrastructure, which is the roads that the county does, culverts, bridges, and such like that. So I mean, it's going to impact all of us, plus the pilot programs, which 5% only goes to the county anyway for whatever the taxes are. So, I mean, something like that, you should form like a little commission or something and study this COA obligation that the towns are facing, and maybe recommend that, that you would be against it, that, you're protecting your residents and the constituents.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to address the Freeholder Board this evening? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the meeting, and we'll open it up for Freeholder reports and comments. Freeholder Jallo.
No comments today, Chairman.
Thank you. Freeholder Wright.
Thank you. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as a breast cancer survivor, I can say that it's very encouraging to see this message of education and action spread throughout the year. The statistics tell the story. Thanks to increased awareness and screening, the combination of early detection and more effective treatment has made a difference. According to the American Cancer Society, women's risk of dying of breast cancer dropped 38% between the late 1980s and 2014. That's an impressive improvement, but there is still much more to be done, especially in the terms of addressing the persistence of a significant racial gap in mortality. Although Black and white women get breast cancer at roughly the same rate, African American women have a 42% higher death rate compared to whites. With this in mind, I would like to remind all women to be aware of the risk factors like smoking, obesity, and alcohol consumption. And please, be sure to practice self-examination on a regular basis and take advantage of screening procedures that save lives.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Kowalski.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to remind everyone that the Aging Services Kiosk program is continuing in October. That's the ASK program, which brings our professional staff to local libraries and other public places and gives seniors and their caregivers information about the services and resources provided by Union County. So to find out about an upcoming event for seniors near you, you can call our Division on Aging at 888-280-8226. And also, coming up in November, we are launching a new handbook designed to give guidance for people applying for assistance through the county's Division of Social Services. The handbook is a project of the nonprofit organization Community Coordinated Child Care and Union County's Council for Young Children in collaboration with our social services. So it tells what's needed to complete the application so it can be done quickly and efficiently. And I'd like to thank all of our county staff and those who worked on this new user-friendly handbook. We have some historical news. Of course, our 4 Centuries in a Weekend program, which we hold every year, where all of the county's historic sites are open for free and have many of them have special programs, and that will be Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd, and you can find more information about those on the county website, ucnj.org. And also, the New Jersey Historic Trust announced this week that those organizations and programs that are set to receive the Preserve New Jersey Historic Preservation Fund grants, and our own deserted village of Feltville is included on that list for a $50,000 grant. So that's good news, and that's it for me, Chairman.
Thank you. Freeholder Corder.
Thank you, Chairman. As Freeholder Kowalski mentioned, 4 Centuries in a Weekend history event takes place next weekend, the 21st and 22nd of October. But one of the added features that I just want to mention that they're going to have this year is many of the sites will provide visitors with an official cancellation stamp from National Park Service, recognizing Union County's inclusion in the crossroads of the American Revolution National Heritage Area. Free copies of the 4 Centuries in a Weekend tour booklet, program map, and the Time Traveler Passport are available through the Office of Cultural and Heritage Affairs. Please visit us online at ucnj.org/cultural, and also just please make sure you go to the website periodically to check out all the wonderful things going around in the county. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Estrada.
Mr. Chairman, I will bank my time.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Mirabella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of things. Earlier this week, we celebrated the groundbreaking of the new Ashbrook Golf Clubhouse in Scotch Plains. Chairman Bergen, Vice Chairman Granados, Freeholder Hudax, Estrada, and Wright all joined me for that groundbreaking. This new building will house the full-service restaurant with capacity for 120 people, a full retail pro shop, administrative offices and public restrooms, and much more. These improvements continue to solidify Union County's reputation as a state leader in this sport and the home of public golf. Over the past 7 years, the county completely transformed what was once a money-losing golf operation into state-of-the-art facilities that have become profit centers. Our Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth has become one of the state's leading public golf courses, and now Ashbrook will take its place right beside it. We expect the new facility to open in the late fall of 2018. Many thanks go to Director Zuber and Director Sanchez for all their efforts to make this happen, along with our county manager for his leadership. On another note, last week I had a chance to meet with some students at Brunner Elementary School, and they gave me a tour of their new garden. This garden received much funding as part of Chairman Bergen's Union County Means Green Community Garden Initiative, and it's very impressive to see how the students are engaged and knowledgeable, and how they are talking about healthy food and raising their crops that they have there, and a healthy environment. The garden serves the entire school as a platform for lessons on a range of academic subjects for all ages, and it means that we're doing a good job connecting students and the community with the environment. Along with the Vice Chairman Granados' new Kids Dig In program, this is the second full year the Freeholder Board has provided funds for the community and school gardens. These grants are relatively small in size, but they have a big impact on our schools and in our communities, and these benefits will ripple out to the community for many, many years to come. And I'm very proud of the students at Brunner. Had a chance for me to visit where my children went to school, and they had a garden at that time, and then one of the persons who was managing the garden left or retired, and it kind of did not continue. And then through the use of the chairman and the vice chairman's, both their initiatives, they were able to revitalize this garden that's really productive. And I know that many freeholders have been in their communities visiting these gardens just to see how well they're doing. And it's been a really great chance for me to get out in the community, and I know many freeholders are enjoying that same opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. County Council, any remarks?
No remarks, thank you.
County Manager?
No comments, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Granados?
No comment.
Just on that point, Freeholder Mirabella, tomorrow morning I'm going to be at Hillside School in Cranford to see their garden, so I am looking forward to that. Recently, I did have the pleasure of joining with a number of the county's public partners to announce the launch of a new project called the Union County Nonprofit Consortium Leadership Institute. And we started with our first class of 24 recruits from local nonprofit organizations. This is one of our 2017 Freeholder initiatives that just got started recently. It's an effort to support skills and training for the next generation of nonprofit executive leaders. The program builds on the Freeholder Board's workforce development initiatives aimed at ensuring that important economic sectors can draw from a rich pool of talent. I want to thank Karen Dinsmore for her efforts in developing the concept and moving it along with a bunch of other organizations. Anyone wishing more information about participating in or supporting the Nonprofit Leadership Fellows Institute can contact Pamela Capisi of Prevention Links at 732-381-4100. Speaking of nonprofits here in the county, I want to congratulate our colleague Betty Jane Kowalski, who is being honored by Community Access Unlimited for her commitment to nonprofits and the community as a whole. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Freeholder Kowalski will be among those honored at CAU's annual gala dinner dance being held Thursday, November 2nd at the Newark Liberty International Airport Marriott. Anyone wishing to buy tickets or for more information, call 908-354-3040, extension 4376. And I want to mention one other event we had earlier this week. I was pleased to join with Vice Chairman Granados, Freeholders Wright, Kowalski, Mirabella, and Estrada to officially dedicate the new Veterans Center at Union County College campus in Cranford. I want to thank Union County College President Dr. Margaret McMenamin and their Board of Trustees Chairman Victor Ritchell for supporting this worthwhile program. As part of our UC Hero initiative, the Veterans Center will help students with a military background connect with resources that help them foster academic success and ease the transition to civilian life. It will give all of our students who are veterans a space where they can share experience, support each other, and build a community. We're honored to have this opportunity to provide a welcoming home at Union County College for our veterans. That's all of my comments tonight. I would then ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.